Hi everybody, welcome to Tangle Break. Today we're going to be doing this tile using the Tangles Printemps, Melting Mooka, Shattuck, and Crazy Nzeppel. We're going to be using the 8 basic steps of the Zentangle method. Step number 1 is gratitude and appreciation. I'm thankful for the time that we're able to take a break from our day to relax and draw. And the supplies that we're going to use are a black Micron 01 pen, a Zentangle pencil, a Tortillon, and a 3.5-inch white tile. And this tile was inspired by Project Pack number 6 from Zentangle headquarters. So let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and grab your tile and your pen. And step 2 is the corner dots. Step 3 is the border. Step 4 is the string, so grab your pencil. And we're going to go ahead and make a line from this top left corner to about the middle of the line border on the right. Okay, now get your pen back. And in this top section, we're going to put printemps, which is a dot and then a spiral. And that's it. And we're just going to fill in this whole space area that we just created with the pencil with these printemps. And I'm drawing it close to the one beside it so that I can draw underneath it and draw underneath the border to give it a more layered look. And then when I get to the pencil, I go over top of it and it'll blend in when we shade. But that's my guideline to know that I want to stay on this side of the pencil to leave enough room for the rest of the tangles. So just go ahead and fill in this all the way across. Okay, now we're going to go in and put some weight on the left side of these printemps. So I'm just making the line a little bit wider on the left hand side, and I'm going to do this on all of them. And on some spaces there might be a little place on the right hand side I want to just give it a little bit more weight, but mainly on the left side I'm just making a little slice and then filling it in. Okay, I'm going to make the center of the spiral, the printemps, a little darker. So I'm going to go all the way around in the middle and just make it a little bit wider, a little bit bolder. And I'm going to keep on working on putting weight on all the printemps. Okay, next we're going to make melting mooka. So just start with a line going straight down, and then we're going to curve it and put a little seed at the end, a little bulb at the end. And then we're going to aura that line on the outside, come around and go all the way back around inside. And that's it. That's a melting mooka. So let's go ahead and do another one. So I'm going to come down on this side and go around the other way and fill in this little bulb at the end. And then we're going to use that middle line and come down to aura, go around and back in. And that's it. So we're going to do another one coming from the center here. And we're going to go to the right, make a little bulb, fill it in, and then come aura on the outside, going to the border, come around and in. And that's it. These are melting mookas. So let's turn our tile, and we're going to make some from this angle, and we're going to go around on the outside, coming down, and then we're going to go to the left, put the little bulb at the end, and then using that middle line, come down, aura, swoop back around and in. Okay, so now we've got that section done. Okay, now let's go ahead and go from right here, and we're going to go out and just make a little bulb here, come out from the right hand side, come around, closing off that section, and then coming around. So we have another little section because we're going to fill in these sections. Now turn your tile again, and we'll make a melting mooka come from this little area, coming down to the right, making a bigger swoop. Okay, let's go back up to and aura it, coming down, around, closing it off, and there. Now we're going to come down from the center. We're just making these sections, and we're going to fill them in. Go around to the left, do the little seed pod, and then coming down, closing it off. Okay, we're just going to do a couple more on the right hand side to finish in these sections. So let's just go from the center here and just go straight up and close off this section. And then just aura, and then that section's closed off. And then we'll just do one more coming down. Aura from to the right hand side, coming down, go around to make your little bulb seed pod little thing here. Come down from this side and close it off, and you're done. So now we made these little sections using the melting mooka, and we're going to fill it in with crazy nzeppel and shattuck. So as long as you have your little sections here, however it worked out, we're going to do, well, let's go ahead and just fill this in right here. And aura it. I'm just making a line. I didn't even do the little bulb at the end. Okay, I just closed it off. All right, so now let's go ahead and start doing these other two tangles. Let's start with crazy nzeppel. So all I'm going to do is do some crazy lines, some zigzags, filling in this space here. And I'm doing them random lines. Just have fun going all over it. And I'm going to do here at the bottom too. So like this whole little column is going to be crazy nzeppel. And crazy nzeppel is pretty easy because as you can see, we just did crazy lines, and then we're going to fill in these lines, the spaces between the lines. So as if you're like stuffing in a Nerf ball into the space. So I go around, leaving the corners out. So I go around on the lines, but I come in where the corners are. So you can see that it looks like I'm stuffing in some kind of foam ball into the space. And that's it. That's crazy nzeppel. It's pretty easy. So I'll go to the corner and pull it in. I retrace the lines, but at the corner, I'm coming in. And that's it. And it makes this cool design. So just go ahead and fill in all of these little foam Nerf balls into your crazy nzeppel areas. And then you can see the design that it's making at the corners where it doesn't come all the way into the corners. It makes a really cool design. And so on this one, I'm going to make it go underneath the melting mooka. Okay, so I'm going to go to the bottom section now. I think that looks so cool. Alright, so let's do this bottom area. Same way, you cut in at the corners and make your foam ball fit in there, squished in there. Okay, so crazy nzeppel is finished. So now let's move over to the section over to the left and make shattuck. And for shattuck, we're going to make a line and then aura it. So I'm going to make a curved line from this side to the other side and then aura all the way in. So I'm making the longest line first. I'm going to go from here and then aura all the way in. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to change direction and make the line this way and then aura all the way in. Then I'm going to make the line the other way, just alternating, and aura. And then alternate and aura. Then I'm picturing where it would be under the melting mooka, and I'm just going to fill it in. And then I'm gonna go ahead and alternate and fill it in. Then go back the other way. It's just a easy going back and forth with an aura, and it makes such a pretty design. And so then this one, we're going to go in this direction underneath the melting mooka. Okay, so now that's finished. Okay, now it's time for step 6 to shade. So grab your pencil. And we're going to go ahead and go around the border. Now go ahead and go around the printemps so we can make it look layered. So I'm putting the pencil around the printemps that are closer to the top. And then around so it looks like it's on top of the crazy nzeppel. And so where it looks like it's on top is where I'm putting the shadow, right below it. And it makes it give the layered look. I love that. Okay, so now on the outside of the melting mooka, and the melting mooka is on top of the crazy nzeppel. So we're doing it on both sides of the melting mooka so it looks like it's raised above the nzeppel. Okay, I'm going to turn my tile just to make it easier. And you can turn your tile anytime. Sometimes I don't turn my tile as much as I would have just to make sure that the camera sees it. Okay, now over top of the shattuck so that it looks like the melting mooka is above it. Okay, and then on shattuck, let's go ahead and do on the outside of the longest line that we were making, the longest curved line on the outside of it. So it looks like it's raised above the one underneath it. And that'll do it. Okay, so now grab your tortillon. Oh, let's put a little bit more here. in the centers, just around where the melting mooka folds in on itself. Okay, and then we need to do this area, doing a little shadow on the little Nerf balls that we did. Okay, now that's done. Now grab your Tortillon and let's go ahead and smoothen the pencil mark on the border and then all the way around. And then around the printemps. Then going down beside the melting mookas. Then go ahead and do the shattuck, those bold lines that we did on the outside of the main lines, the longest lines. And then let's go into crazy nzeppel and just give the little foam balls that we shoved in there a little bit of shadow, just like a little C around on them. And a little bit more here on the edges. And I think we're done. So it's time for step 7, initial and sign. Grab your pen and choose a spot to put your initials or your chop. And then turn it over on the back. And this is Tangle Break. And the tangles that we did today are printemps, melting mooka, shattuck, and crazy nzeppel. And time for step 8 is appreciate again. And I can look at it in any direction. And I hope you enjoyed our break today. And I will see you next time on Tangle Break. Bye for now.